Another day and another embarrassing reversal of one of Trump's main campaign promises. Trump is not only trying to increase the flow of migrants to the United States, he's trying to run away from the issue and make people forget that he ever said this.
The largest deportation operation in American history.
Like that wasn't one of his main campaign promises. I just seen an article published by Politico talking about this. And I know the White House been telling Republicans in Congress to stop talking about mass deportation. I mean, this is such an embarrassing about face for Trump and just everybody that celebrated any of this, immigration nonsense. These just talking points. Y'all should all just be ashamed of all of this because clearly Trump is. But I want to pause right there and ask everybody to take a second, subscribe to my YouTube page, and sign up for my email list. Those are the best ways to stay in the loop on all things politics with Steve. Now let's get back to it. So Trump, he really just mastered having a simplified message that the average person can understand. And when you can understand the message, it makes it easier to believe it, even when it's just BS. Because at the same time, every Republican politician, they knew damn well they will never end illegal immigration because it's just a dumb idea. I mean, they banked on their voters just not understanding how stupid the idea is while still using the concept to trigger emotion and fear. That's why they just got these simple talking points. Immigrants are bad. Build the wall. It's simple. All Trump got to do is just, crime is at levels nobody's ever seen before. Build the wall. It's just that simple. But I knew Trump was never serious about anything he said immigration related for a number of reasons. But the dead giveaway was suggesting a fake solution like the border wall. Anybody suggesting something so stupid that doesn't work but very expensive, it's just a show. But it did work for campaigning. It accomplished the goal of pretending to care about the issue, demonizing migrants, and, keeping a cause relevant for their base so that they remain passionate about it. And now he just wants everybody to forget all about that. I said last year, if he actually start deporting people the way he said he would, all of his supporters will start begging for them people to come back when they see how expensive things gonna get. I mean, we've seen this so many times already. Farmers who overwhelmingly voted for Trump, they've been complaining about how short-staffed they've been since this immigration crackdown. We see the home building corporation. They've been complaining that they got nobody to help build homes. This is actually adding to the national housing shortage. And even rural hospitals. They've been getting hurt by Trump ever since he announced his new $100,000 H-1B visa program. They can't afford that. Trump really convinced millions of people that foreigners coming to the United States, working jobs that are usually not paid minimum wage, was responsible for just everything bad in American society. I mean, he really convinced these people that if they left, these jobs would go to Americans. Just listen to how important they are for the economy.
Teresa Romero is the president of the labor union United Farm Workers. She says migrants often perform some of the most challenging and unappealing jobs in agriculture.
This is a work that is demanding, that is dangerous, that is very physical. There's long hours. Their workers are dying.
And that's exactly true. I mean, these people are working very heavy labor jobs that are often dangerous. And the farms that employ these workers are not rich. Just Google farmer suicide. It's back on the rise. They can't afford to just swap out undocumented immigrants with American-born workers. And if they were able to pay American-born workers, the cost of goods like groceries will skyrocket. I mean, they would have to build in the increased labor costs to all of the price of the goods. Who wants that to happen? So now Trump and the farmers that overwhelmingly voted for him got to turn to the same group of people that he did nothing but shit on for a very long time to help fix this issue. The New York Times just posted an article saying, to address farm labor shortage, Trump administration turns to migrant workers. Like, how fucking embarrassing. I think Democrats and Republicans would agree, deport the criminals. But that's not what Trump immigration crackdown was doing. Ending immigration is just removing one of the biggest advantages that the United States have. I mean, the most developed countries all around the world, like Japan, South Korea, Russia, they having extreme birth rate issues. Basically, citizens in the country ain't having enough kids to replenish the population. Because shit, kids are expensive. I know, I got one. And so really now Trump realized that his immigration policy is just not unpopular. It's also tanking the economy for just so many reasons. And the enforcement of his immigration crackdown never made any sense. It's like the only purpose of it was just for the show. Think about it. They sent ICE to Minnesota based on a very dumb lie, something about Somali run daycares doing healthcare fraud. And by the way, no evidence of this Somali run daycare fraud scheme was ever, found. Nobody was ever prosecuted for this. But let's just put that aside. What was the result of this? Americans got killed in the streets of Minnesota for no reason. We know last year, ICE halted the construction of an EV plant in Georgia. ICE literally came to this construction site and arrested more than 400 South Korean citizens that was supervising the building of this plant. And South Korea stopped the project and called their citizens back home. And these people were engineers, they held visas, and they came here to build this plant and just got detained by ICE. The plant was there to bring more than 8,500 jobs to the state of Georgia. And like I said, the South Korean government immediately chartered a plane to bring their citizens home. Trump had to apologize to South Korea for this. And dumb stuff like this is exactly why every single month we see US job numbers in a free fall and the economy just been downhill ever since Trump came back to office. And don't even get me started on this migrant crime stuff. I can't believe people fell for that. I mean, that whole era was just insanity. I mean, he would take one case of an undocumented immigrant committing any crime anywhere around the United States and just talk about it nonstop. I mean, it was truly nutty. I mean, the man would take a victim if they was alive or the victim's family and just parade them around to, rallies, to the media, and just keep talking about this one story like the United States don't have more than 340 million people in it. He would talk about this one story, but apparently that was all he needed to do to convince MAGA that they can't go outside without an undocumented immigrant just, killing them somewhere in the street. Even though everybody knows that undocumented immigrants commit crimes at a much lower rate than natural born citizens. And that's true even from my own experience. I hate to really generalize a whole population of people, but I'm gonna do that real quick. It's been a few times that I got in Ubers and, I was probably running late somewhere. The second I see that my driver is a migrant, I'm like, fuck. Bro is about to drive textbook. If you get in that car and you see an American and you just tell them your situation, you in a rush or something like that, they willing to break some rules for you. They'll run some red lights, do some turning when they ain't supposed to, switching lanes and stuff like that. Foreign Uber drivers, they gonna ask you to wear their seatbelt. You be in the back seat like, chill, bro, I'm about to put it on. But like labeling these people as just criminals is always crazy. And I always said, just as a thought exercise, if lying was illegal in politics, the Republican Party just wouldn't exist. I mean, that's all they have is just cooking up lies about everything and keeping a base feared and dumb.